Are you ready for an extremely strong opening statement? I thought I'd seen it all. I thought we'd reached peak guitar and there was never, ever, ever going to be anything new ever again. Until I tried this. Not the guitar, but the Trem system. This is the Tremmy from MayTrem, a company from Switzerland who have, dare I say, revolutionized what we call trem, but is really vibrato. Let me show you. Did you hear it? Listen again. We'll try a different chord. We'll try a G. On a regular trem system, when you play a chord and then depress the trem arm, the chord will go out of tune. On the Tremmy, everything stays intonated. Have another listen. It goes down quite a way. If you are a regular tremolo user, you will know that this is an absolute game changer. And I've thrown around words in this video already that I rarely use because you rarely get game changers or revolutions like this. But it's true. This changes trem and therefore guitar forever. And I'm not normally allowed near a tremolo arm because I'll put a guitar out of tune within milliseconds. This means I can go back to using trem again. Now let's put my tuner on screen for a moment so you can see the tuner working as I depress the trem. Here we go. So, back to that B. Now, I am shocked by the implications of this. And that's only the beginning of what the tremming can do. Because not only can you make everything go down in pitch, you can also select strings to stay where they are. So you can just tremolo certain strings. This is currently set up to detune everything. But I'm going to change that now. If I go to this camera, you should be able to see what's going on. So I'll flip it over and show you that it's just like a regular trem. Nothing has been taken away on this Harley Benton, this donor guitar. There's this tiny little block, which you don't need to worry about being tiny. And I love that these strings are lined up like that. That does my OCD some good stuff. It's got all this mass here, and the string is going over this wheel at the back. There's a little wheel down there, and then over this second wheel just there. And when I depress the trem, it's only this back part that moves. Meaning that if I take this string out from that wheel and put it directly over that wheel, it won't detune when I press the arm down. So let's try that. I now have the string just coming through the saddle part, completely avoiding the tremolo part of it. So you'll notice that these strings are moving, whereas the E string, low E string, isn't. So that means I can do things like this. Now I know that's not very musical, but if I were to change all the strings and leave, say, just the B on the trem part, that would give me a B bender. And at the moment it's set to only go down, but if you change the tension of the springs and do a setup, you can also have it go up, which is exactly what I want. It's floating, or it would be floating, but it stays in tune. And you might have noticed that I've been really ragging on that, and everything's working. Partly to do with the locking tuners and the nuts, of course, but there's no friction points here. It's one of the smoothest trems I've ever used. And I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible because I think The key here is not me playing you tons of things, but showing you ideas and then showing that it actually works. And as a geek, as a nerd, I'm gobsmacked that this actually works, and it works well. I'm going to change it again and have now the A and the top E also off the trem system. I didn't want to make this video too long, but just doing this is extremely difficult. Once I'd figured it out, it was easy, but figuring it out was tough, even with the help from the MayTrem website. Yeah, I was swearing off camera in this part. And now I'm ready to go. So these 3 strings, they're on the trem. These 3 are not. That's really weird. I'm having to rethink everything about that whole business. So musically, we can do stuff like this. It is a little bit difficult for me to play musically because I'm not hearing what I'm used to hearing. It is difficult. It is not normal. It is better, but also kind of hard to get used to playing guitar in a different way, which is not the fault of the Tremmy. It's definitely this connection between the guitar and my brain. It's opened up a new world of possibilities, and I love being in tune, and I love being able to play chords and bend them with this without hearing that root note go down. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible because I'm so impressed by this that I want you to go off and buy one and try one. But I do have the other trem system, and we're going to shoot that out as well. So in here currently is the Tremmy, which is the smaller version, and this can go up and down. To make this go down, all I need to do is change some of the setup here. So if I do that, the arm goes down, it does not go up because I'm as far back as that will let me. So if I try and bend it that way, I can't. But if I were to float it and push it into the middle, I'm just pressing the arm down now, like there, and then have that in the middle, like so, and then tune the guitar and set the guitar up, I will be able to go up and down. And I'm not going to do that with the Tremmy. I'm going to take the Tremmy off now and put the MyTrem on, which is the bigger brother, which has more functions than the Tremmy, but is a bit more cumbersome. So strings are going to come off and brand new strings are going to go on. Future Andy here again. This was extremely difficult to do. I regretted life choices at this point. I would like to point out that MayTrem have sent out all the tools that I needed to do this, and depending on what kit you buy, like you can buy the build kit, which if you're a builder, you can put this in from point 0. So if you're building a guitar, you would put this in from the beginning of the build, or you can buy the R kit, which is the replacement kit, meaning you take your trem, your existing trem out of your guitar and put in the replacement MayTrem, Tremmy, or MyTrem, which is what has been done in this Harley Benton. Right, here we go. I'm actually following the guide from YouTube right now, which is on the MayTrem YouTube channel.
Decor.
I don't want to over-dramatize this, but I genuinely thought that this would be easier than it is. Once you get the knack, it is easy. But the beginning steps were super tough. The MyTrem is in the first part anyway, and now I have to decide how I want to set it up. I'm going to set it up with all strings being bent. MayTrem have done a great job of giving you the tools you need, and I mean the learning tools you need to be able to do this yourself and retrofit it. I just want to make sure that you know that this wasn't easy. It is not a simple job, and nobody that is new to guitar should try taking this on. I've now got the MyTrem on there, the bigger brother of the Tremmy, and I will talk about how that process was towards the end of the video. Let's get into some playing, and I'll show you the difference between this and the Tremmy, and then between this and a regular tremolo guitar. Let's put the trem arm in and give it some downward action. That was the same as the Tremmy, but now let's go up. Now, take away the fact that I can keep my chord in tune as I play. It's also one of the most stable trem systems I've ever played. It's a beauty. It's so nice being able to keep each of those wobbly bends in tune with each other. I really enjoyed that. Right, let's go up. I could make weird noises with this all day long. It's because it's atmospheric. It's very synth-like, because when you pitch bend a wheel on a synth, it stays in tune with itself. On guitar, it doesn't normally do that. With this, it does. Let's go surfy. It's almost a subtle difference until you recognize it's happening. In a full band context, in a recording, that would be more musical because it's still in tune. Right, let's try this against a guitar that doesn't have a MayTrem fitted. The one that is normal. Okay, first up, the MyTrem. Now, even if you're partially deaf, you can hear the difference there. This is far more musical, and it is a different beast. I quite like the sounds I got from that because it was weird and discordant. This is still in tune when you're right down there. It's nuts. I really like this, but before I give it the thumbs up or thumbs down, there's a few things we need to talk about. Number one is the price. It is around 600 notes, and that is a lot of money for a trem system. However, the company is small. The company has only made a few units so far. They've not really done mass distribution. My hope is that the bigger the company gets, the lower that price will be. There is a lot going on in the MyTrem and the Tremmy. It is engineered so well. It is built so beautifully. It is a piece of art as well as a piece of utility stuff. And I'm not surprised that it is 600 notes. And in hearing it in this video, if you've decided you need it because you mainly play with trems and you're a Jeff Beck tribute or something, I think you're going to find it worth it. It's another thing to spend money on. The second thing is that I don't think we're going to get this stock on anything like Fender or Ibanez or even Harley Benton because it is such a steep learning curve to use this and to even just to change the strings. There was so much off-camera swearing earlier and so much almost giving up because it is tough. Once I got the first two through, in fact this takes me on to a third point, once I got the first two strings in, I felt such a sense of achievement. The four remaining ones were super easy. And I felt like I did the first time I ever changed a Floyd Rose. And in fact, the first time I ever changed strings, I got that same feeling, that accomplishment, that I've learned something thing. However, it is super difficult. I think if Fender or Ibanez or one of the big companies were to put these on their guitars, they would get so many complaints from customers. And the complaint would come down to the fact that the customer wouldn't know how to change it themselves. So I think MayTrem need to increase the amount of videos they have on their channel explaining how to do this and improve the quality of those videos, because the video I watched was really, really useful, but it could have been better. It could have been more concise. It could have made my life easier when changing the strings on this. And changing the whole thing was tough. Just changing the strings was a challenge. So if you're up for spending the money, for taking on the challenge of putting this on a guitar or having a guitar builder put it on one of your guitars for you, I can only recommend this thing. It is so well made, it makes other trem systems look poor. It really, really does. And when people are sometimes blaming their tuners or their nut for their tuning problems, it's often the trem. This one is just super silky smooth. I prefer the Tremmy, which has a few more limitations, but for me, it's the one that I would definitely put on my guitars. And it does so much that I'll make sure the links are underneath this video so you can go and see what this does in addition to the things I've done in this video. Also, I will link the videos that I used to change this over and to change the strings, because I'm not going to remake that video. There is a video on the MayTrem YouTube channel that covers it all. If I did that, this would have been an hour long, and no, I don't want to do that to you. I just want you to know that MayTrem sent this out, asked me to review it, and I give it an absolute thumbs up. So there you are. It shocked me. I've been crying a little bit in this internally. I've been swearing a lot off camera, but it is worth everything just to get these sounds. And that's a good thing. Right, as I said, links in the video description to this and the tutorial videos and stuff like that I used changing this over. Leave me a comment down below, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!